Hello and welcome to Blocs Master. My name is Elder and today I'm going to show you how to add a blog to your Blocs website using Volt CMS. If you take a look on YouTube, I have already done a video about Volt CMS about a year ago, but since then they have updated it quite a lot. They have added blogging, which is what we were gonna take a look at today. And yeah, I have decided to give it another try. I liked what Volt CMS was before, but then of course, Blocs 4 came out and it had WordPress baked in, so I didn't really need to use Volt CMS that much. But for my latest Blocs Master website, I have decided to actually use Volt CMS to implement the blogging on this website. So all of the news page, you can see all of these posts here are Volt CMS. They all have been added using Volt CMS. And at the end of this quite long video, I think it will be a very long video, I will show you how I would add post to this Blocs Master blog. But before that, let me just show you from scratch how you would go along and how you will go about adding a blog to your website. So there are a few ways, of course, for me to show you that I can build some website from scratch, but I have decided that it will be better if I just pick one of my templates and add a blog to this template. So I like something minimal, so let's take a look and find some clean, maybe minimalist, but also it is like WordPress theme. It is also available as a Blocs project, but I think I want something maybe freelancer or maybe September. I will take a look at the demos and decide from here, actually in a separate window, actually light version. I would prefer it. Maybe dark version. I like dark version as well. Yeah, let's take a look at dark version. So this is the September. It doesn't have blog page yet, so it's perfect. And this is freelancer. It also doesn't have the blog page yet. I think I will use September. Yeah, I will use September. So before we start, let me tell one thing. I'm not going to go into very small details, customization and all that stuff, because it will make this video, which I hope won't be too long. It will be long for sure, but it will make it over 1 hour or something, because it took me quite a while to customize everything on Blocs Master News page. So I'm actually working on the Blocs 4 blogging course at the moment. I have been working on it for a couple of months now, but until now it was only covering WordPress, how to add a blog to your Blocs website using WordPress. But after giving Blocs Volt CMS a try, I have decided to actually expand this new course, which will be available to all Blocs 4 Ultimate Pack users, by the way, for free. I have decided to cover both WordPress and Volt CMS. So this new course, which will be very detailed, will come this summer. But today I just want to show you the overall proceedings, overall process of adding a blog, installing Volt CMS on your website. So with that out of the way, let's actually, I have decided to use September template. So let's take a look at my templates, Blocs 4 templates, September, I have it here. So I will open that and I will be using dark version. Okay, so another important thing is that I'm going to use I have a lot of test servers, I have a lot of FTP servers, I have my own server as well, and I have a bunch of custom domains I have purchased over the years, which I'm using for developing, for testing. So I'm going to use I have blocsbricks.com, I think, and I'm going to upload the website here and install the Volt CMS here. So let's start this just taking our project. And by the way, I can use I can use both Blocs 4.2.2, I think the stable version, or Blocs 4.3 or any other version, like later version. But thing is, in Blocs 4.3 we have the new option inside the project settings. If we take a look here, you can see that inside the project settings we have the new option of CMS. We can choose Volt now, and what it does actually, it just changes the page type from HTML to PHP, which is required by Volt, and it also enables the clean URL export. So instead of something like blog.html or blog.php, we will have just blog. So there is no extension at the end of the URL. This is the requirement for Volt CMS. So if you're using Blocs 4.2, you should do that manually, but for Blocs 4.3, it is automatic. Okay, so I will do that. And as you can see, we have switched the page type to PHP. And for the export settings, you can see that clean page URLs are enabled now. Okay, let's click done. And I will export this as it is. I will actually use the new combine all feature as well. I will export this website to the desktop, go to my FTP client, and just upload everything to the server. It will take a couple of seconds. And while we're waiting, let's actually type the URL of our website, blocsbricks.com. Okay, it's live. Let's refresh once more. Yeah, this is the template you get out of the box. It is. We can use it as it is, obviously, without block. But if you want to add block, you can use Volt CMS. And let's actually take a look at how we would add it. So let's go back to Blocs, and there are a few essential steps we have to take. First of all, we need to, well, let's actually create the blog page right away. I will create a new page. Let's name this blog, and I can uncheck this if I want to do it manually, but I think even if I edit now, it won't be added to the navigation, because the navigation at the moment, it is using the source set to none, because I have manually adjusted the style and everything. But we can manually add the link for our blog page. So this is services and about. I think that if we duplicate services, list item, duplicate, and let's change this to blog, and let's connect it to our blog page. Just to be sure, let's actually add the title. Let's say September blog, and let's preview. Actually, let's update our website right away. Why not? So we can see that we now have blog page. So I will update our live website right away. And yeah, right now we obviously don't have the Volt CMS installed, but if we go to our website now and refresh it, you can see that we now have blog page. And if we go to blog page, we don't have anything. We have obviously the footer and header, which are made in template on all pages, but right now we don't have anything else. So let's go back to Blocs and let's install the Volt CMS. So to do that, what we need to do is obviously, first of all, add the Volt core brick to the footer. And we will have to go over some settings here to set everything up. So I will quickly do that. So for the username, so the username, this is the name and password which we will use to log in into our dashboard on this website, basically to make edits. So I will type something like Elder. For the password, we need to use this hash code. Hash, you can see that we can use this website Sorry, we can use the website provided by the developer of Volt CMS, or we can actually go and look for any hash password generator. Anything will work. I usually use something like that, for example. So let's say our password will be Blocs, well, Elder Blocs, for example. Let's click here and it will generate us the code which we need to copy. Go back to Blocs and put your hash code here. Okay. So there are a few other things we can change here. I'm not going into detail once again, but in order to enable the local host preview, which is basically allowing Volt CMS to be previewed on your computer without updating all of the files, we need to go to project settings and type our web address here. So if you have one, you can type it here. So for me, it will be blocsbricks.com. Click done. As for everything else, I will leave it as it is. So we have our user, we have our hash code, our password. What we don't have yet is the login page. So let's quickly add the login page to our project. It can be logging, it can be admin, it can be whatever you want. It's only for you and your administrator access purposes. So regular people won't be able to see it, obviously. So let's go back to our Blocs application and I will create a page. Let's name it logging and I won't use it in primary menu. So on this page, we need to add a couple of blocks, not bricks, blocks. So if we go to our block bar, we can add Volt login and Volt logout, two of the blocks we need to add. And by the way, I'm not showing how to install the Volt CMS because it's very easy. You just double click on all of the files you get, but you can also just go to the older video I just told you about, which I done last year. It's the same story, nothing changed since then. So once you've installed it, you will have all of the bricks, all of the blocks available inside. So here is my login page. And we can change some design here if we want. For example, here we have the form control, I think, which controls the design of this field. You can adjust the style of the text, but honestly, you don't need that. We will actually delete it and we'll just use the default values we have. Okay, so let's save that and let's upload the new version to our server. Let's go back here and let's update all of the files. So now we will have the blog page as well as login page. We don't have any sections on our website which we can edit using Volt CMS, but we already have all of the structure needed to access our website. So let's go back to Safari. We don't need that anymore. So instead of blog page, I will type the new login page we just created. And as you can see, we now have this page and we will use Elder. What was our password? Elder Blocs. Click login. Not now. As you can see, it says that we are logged in as Elder. So if you want to change the style of these buttons, for example, of this text, you can just edit this page. You can, for example, align everything. For example, for buttons, you can use the styles. For example, this template comes with a number of styles. You can use them here and that's all fine. But the important thing here is, of course, we will want to add the blog. Okay, let's go to our blog page. And here we will add a couple of elements. First of all, we need to add, well, we will just add the Volt blog brick, I think. To do that, let's just add the simple column here. And inside this, we will add Volt block brick. And under this block, we will also add the Volt block editor, the essential part of our blogging setup. This won't be visible to the visitors. You will see in a couple of seconds when I upload this. And I don't think I actually don't want to have the header here. So for the Volt block, this is the brick we just added here. You can see in the sidebar it says Volt block. It has quite a few settings actually, which you can change. You can change the ID of the block. You can have multiple blocks on your website. I will have just one. Items per page, 10 is fine. Layout, 1 column. We can have 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, wherever. For example, like if we go to Blocs templates, something like minimalist, for example, this is 2-column layout. I usually go for 1 column on my Blocs master website. You can see that here I have just 1 column, and that works fine for me. Okay, so headings detail. Basically, this is the heading of the post inside the blog list. This is the heading of the post inside the actual post, and we can change how the metadata is displayed. We can have the share icons above or below the body. I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest, but if you want, you can use them. By the way, to add the share icons, all you need to do is just to add another Volt block, which is Volt block share, I think. Yeah, you just add this. Once again, it won't be visible on the blog page, but it will be visible on regular pages for your post pages, I guess. I'm not going to do that. I'm not a big fan of this design. So we will just set up a very quick and very simple block here. Okay, so the date design, date pattern, I will use the default one. We can have a few options here. We can leave everything as it is to see how this works, but I disable scroll to top in detail view because I just want it to be regular without any scrolling. So we can enable the discuss comments for each of our posts. I'm not going to do that. And we can change these words for all of the categories, for author, for read more. It is for people who want, for example, to build the multilingual blogs for like not English, some other language. And if you just want to have something more, for example, here I have read more. I think it is read more by default. You can change it to like more details or continue reading, something like that. Here I also have this is the metadata I have here. This is the go back to blogs page, previous post, next post. You can all change this here inside the sidebar. Once again, we're not going to do that. We can also change the settings. We can set the title, publisher, description for our RSS feed. I'm not going to do that here, but if you want, that's actually pretty straightforward. Just type the publisher name, title, description, and you can also have the image URL added here. One thing which is probably not something you should care about, but for my particular server, sometimes there is a need to add some subdomain. For me, it's just /. But for most blogs, for most FTP servers, you don't need to put anything here. It will work out of the box. So these are the default settings, basically very simple. You can just leave them as it is. Let's now update our website. I will upload the new files. Let's go to transmit and update the files. And let's go to our login page. So take a couple of seconds until it updates. And a couple of seconds. Okay, that's done. Let's go to blog page. And now, because we have this block, what's the name of this? This block, this new post let me actually give you the name, Volt block editor block, as well as block brick. Now we have these floating buttons here. So you can see this is edit, this is exit, and this is add new. So we will add new. Right now we don't have anything. And this is the design you see here. This is the interface we will use to add a new post title, post, new entry. Let's type something very quickly, very generic. New post title goes here. We can set the URL for this, or it will automatically create it for us. I will just leave it as it is. We can add the author or category, for example, news. And there are, well, obviously date and time. I will leave it as it is. If we want this to save as a draft, so it won't be visible for our website visitors, we can check this check if draft setting, very self-explanatory. And we have a few sections here: header, summary, and content. So this is my website here. So when I go to Blocs Master, news, and this is the header, this is the summary, and everything which you see inside here is the main, what it says, main content. So let's do something similar here. For header, I will add the image. So right now I don't have any images. Something like that will do. So we will have image for header. For summary, I will put some kind of description here, a couple of words, couple of sentences. Let's say that I don't want to type all of that. So this is our summary. I will usually do the same for the description. And for main content, you can put anything you want. I will just add a couple of elements here. And well, if you have used Volt CMS before, you know how we can add these classes here. For example, for margin, let's add some, well, another image. And under image as well, let's add some margin. Can have image protection now, nice. And under this, let's have a few more lines of text, just for testing purposes. Okay, so let's click save. We can save it, or we can click save and close, and then it will close this for us automatically. And you can see how this looks. It doesn't look very good out of the box because there are a few things we can change, obviously. But now we have the title, we have the summary, we have the date, we have the category. This is the header area. And as you can see, this one is actually linked to our post, which we can also reach by clicking on Read More button. And inside here we have the header once again, we have the title and all of the content we have added. Obviously, it doesn't look very good. Okay, there are a few things we can change. There are quite a lot of things we can change when it comes to actually styling. And this is the best part. If we go to Volt CMS website, voltcms.com, not very beautiful here you can see, but it works. So if we click on Volt block, it gets you can get to this page where you can read all of the tutorials, all of the guidelines I'm talking about in this video. But what is interesting for us here is the styling. So styling is basically a list of classes which you can add to your Blocs project and alter using class editor to get the design you want. This can take hours if you want to change everything, or you can just use it as it is by default. By default, I would say it's not very pretty. So for my Blocs Master website, I spent quite a lot of time here. Once again, I will cover maybe pretty much everything when recording my course for Blocs for Web blogging course. But for today's video, I will just show you that you can change a few things, and yeah, that will be all for you. So let's go back to our Blocs add-ons tutorial here. you can see that there is a name of class and there is the thing what it actually does. For example, metadata, you can change how metadata looks, title, body content, header content. So header content, as you can see on our website here, this is the header content. It is displayed both on the blog page here, and if we click on it and go to the page itself, it is displayed here as well. We can actually hide it only on the detail page. You can see that we have Volt blog item header. We can copy that, go to blocks, and I would actually like to change the design a little bit. We can make it a little bit narrower. If you want to add a sidebar, you can also do that here, I believe. Actually, let me do that. I will actually add a sidebar, and the sidebar will have some generic text, which I'm not going to edit now, but inside the blog page, inside the Volt blog brick, we will have our blog here. So I will take a look at all other breakpoints, so it looks fine. Well, it will be okay. And what I wanted to do here, of course, is to hide the header area. So I have copied this Volt blog item header detail class, and we can change just the design of it if we want. We can change the size. I just want to hide it, so I will go to positioning tab, display, none, and this will hide the image we have added to our post only on detailed page, not on the blog list, only in detailed page. Let's just see what we have done here. Let's upload our new version of our website to the server. And while it is updating, I will actually do something else quite fast. I think that in addition to hiding this image, I also, let's say I want to change the color for the title or for the text here. Maybe I also want to change the design of the buttons here. Not very big fan. If you go to my website, you can see that on our news page, I have changed the metadata format as well as style. I have this link, hover effect, I have this button. I align everything to the center because I prefer it this way, but you can do whatever you like. And as you can see, well, it's pretty straightforward. All I did, I just took all of these classes, most of them, and changed them. So let's go back to our blog page. Let's update it. And as you can see, now we have this sidebar. Obviously, I didn't change the size. It's obviously too big for a sidebar, but you can see how this will look. And if we go inside, you can see that we have new posts. We can have this sidebar, for example, this newsletter sign up box, or like you can put there anything you want. You can put there even the recent posts, because Volt CMS combs the new brick, which allows you to add the recent posts to your sidebar, for example, or some other page. And yeah, I mean, you can put advertisement if you're like that. I'm not really a big fan, but yeah, you can add anything you want. I'm not going to go very into detail, but let me quickly show you a couple of other things we can change. For example, I think we can change buttons. You can see that we have the buttons class for all of the buttons. We can also change individual buttons, around the back button, around more button, post navigation. Post navigation are the back and next previous post, I guess. So I think I just edited this one class, Volt block button. And what I've done actually, because on this template, September template, I think if we go to some other pages, you will see that I have already the design for some buttons. For example, here I have white, I have black. So what I would do here, I will actually just duplicate the class I already created and give it the name. So September Black button, I will duplicate it. And instead of that, I will just change it to Volt Block button. Not sure how this will look. Well, let's see. Maybe it's even easier than I thought, because, well, usually you will just add this class and change the design as you like. But I took a shortcut and just used one of the classes I have already created for my templates. So while it's updating, let's also take a look here once again. So for share icons, once again, this video is already too long. It's like half an hour already, so I'm not going into detail for that, but you can just add the share Volt block share block, and it will allow you to add the share icons. There is also search and sort brick inside blocks. It's not brick, it's block, I think. Yeah, there is Volt blog and search. So if we put this somewhere on our screen, we can allow people to search and categorize our blogs. I'm not a very big fan of that. Once again, I'm not adding this to my website. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. We can change how the links are displayed. By default, it says something like domain.com blog, and then this question mark and post title. We can change it to something like that, domain blog / title. That's what I've done for my websites here. You can see that on Blocs Master I have the blog and the title. To do that, you can just add this text to your htaccess file. Once again, I will show everything in the course. It's too much for this video. So I think our blog page should be updated by now. Let's go here, update it. Well, we need to adjust a couple of things here. I think the class did not include the text color, so we will need to go to our button here, and for the text color, let's make it white. So I wanted to take a shortcut. It took me even more time than I wanted. That's fine. Okay, let's update it again, and if it works, I think we will just leave it as it is. Okay, while it's updating, let's actually go to my website. This is the Blocs Master website, and I think I have the same login page. I guess it is under admin. Yep, you can see that I logged in. Now if I go to news page, as you can see here, we have these edit buttons for each of the posts. We can just click on that and edit the post. Like I said, I have the title, description, image. I have some summary content, main content. I think it will be looking better if I do something like that. And yeah, let's click save, close. Save and close. Okay, I think our website is updated. Let's go back and see if the button will be better now. Yeah, you can see we have the white color here, and read more as well. So after we're done, of course, you can see that I didn't change the type of the boldness, the color, and everything. That's something which you can do using all of these classes here. But once again, it takes longer than I want to spend on this video. It will be too boring for you to find anything helpful if it's 2 hours long. So I will click on this red button, which is exit button. And now on our blocsbricks.com, you have the blog button or blog link. If you click on blog, this is the blog. You can see there is no edit buttons or anything. This is the regular blog, and we can click on read more to go into detail. And well, obviously this is not the best looking post here, but let me actually quickly add a new post here on Blocs Master, which will be used for this tutorial later. So I will click plus, and let's add a post together. So for the title, I will add, well, blogging blogging in Blocs, this Volt CMS. I don't use authors or categories for Blocs Master because I like to keep it clean. If you want, you can do that. For description, I will just quickly type something. Well, I won't bore you to death, so I will just do that later on my own. For the header, well, I think that I will upload something later. For now, let's just use this image, Volt. Not perfect. Actually, now I don't want to do that. I want to do something decent later. For now, I will use one of the images I have already uploaded. And as you can see, all of the images you upload, they will be visible here. Actually, maybe I think I have Volt CMS image here somewhere because I have did the review before. Maybe I have it here as well. Yeah, I have Volt CMS here, so I will use this image. For summary, I will quickly type something. Many of you have asked about the Volt CMS blogging feature. Today I'm recording, I'm sharing with you a very long but hopefully helpful video. Hopefully. And I will use that as a header for my blog page as well. I will add some margin, and for now I will put here placeholder, something like that. Video will be here in 5 minutes. Well, 15 minutes because I need to upload it. Let's make it 45. I need to upload it and post it on my website. So for the description, I will just use that. You can see I have title, I have description, I have this header image, I have the summary content. This is the main content starting from here, and I will post the video a little bit later. For now, let's just click save or save and close because I will publish it right away. Let's exit. So this is my live website. As you can see right now, I have added this new post, blogging in Blocs with Volt CMS. The description I just wrote, and if we click read more, it will take us to this page, beautifully designed. As you can see, all of the things are aligned perfectly, and I will just add the video here once I upload it to YouTube. And by the way, this is actually because I have the RSS feed linked in the settings, this will be going right away to all of the people who subscribe via RSS feed. So hopefully they won't see this text placeholder there. But yeah, this is how it works. So very quick, very long video. I have thought about doing it live, this live streaming, like I done the Apple website last year. But yeah, I think that it will be better quality if I do it this way. And my thoughts about Volt CMS, if you care, I actually impressed. I think it is better than I expected it to be. There are still some things I don't like. Basically, some of the limitations of the block editor or text editor, because as I understand, this is something not easily updated. But this is the version 1 of Volt CMS. So hopefully in a few years we will see Volt CMS 2 or 3, whatever, which will be much better and more future rich and more beautiful to work with. But for now, I think that Volt CMS is very simple to use, very easy. Although if you want more customization, you will have to spend some time with this class editor. So if you're not familiar with these classes, this is something you will have to learn in order to make your blog page something you like. But out of the box, it's still doing okay. Just change the color of text maybe and adjust some of the padding margins and it will be fine. Yeah, I will be using it for Blocs Master website going forward. For my other websites, for example, if you take a look at my website for my wife's blog, this one using WordPress. Everything else is done this Blocs 4 Plus, but I could have done something similar to this Volt CMS. It's up to you really. If you don't like WordPress, I think Volt CMS is one of the best options to use for your blog. If you don't want to spend money, obviously WordPress is free and it is quite powerful, obviously WordPress. My wife likes Volt CMS. She used it before for her website, but it was without blogging back then. Now she's using WordPress and she's very happy. So her website will stay this WordPress for now. Blocs Master will stay this Volt CMS. I think that, yeah, both are great options if you want to add blog to your website. Once again, I will be releasing more in-depth, more detailed course covering everything Volt CMS, how to add a blog, how to add maybe some galleries even. But for today, that's all I wanted to share. It's already 40 something minutes. Sorry for such a long video. I think it's one of my longest videos ever. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below or better email me and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can with answers. If you have any other requests or need help with anything, once again, I'm always happy to help. Just email me. And if you haven't already, of course, check out the Blocs Master. And the Blocs 4 website course is right now the main course. It's about 74 videos, more than 9 hours of tutorials, and you can see all of the tutorial list here. But like I mentioned already, I'm actually working on on 4 new courses. And I'm working on 2 actively right now. So one will be available very soon. It will be Blocs for Commerce course, which will be a course explaining everything you need to do to add a store or build a store website using Blocs. And after that, this summer, I will add the Blocs for Blogging course, which will cover WordPress and Volt CMS for blogging. After that, I have 2 more, which are secret at the moment. But for 2 which will be available next, Blocs for Commerce course and Blocs for Blogging course, this will be available for free to anybody who signed up for Blocs for Ultimate Pack, which also includes all of the Blocs 4 and Blocs 3 templates. So thank you for supporting my work. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it was helpful to some of you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to help you. Have a nice and productive week and I will talk to you in the next video.